What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
Yeah, remaking America, you see it, tech stuff. America was in such decline. It was it was a really horrible thing, and people are realizing that sometimes you ever heard the phrase, you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs?
Yes.
This is like that, except you can't bring back a country unless you destroy it from a good place and then wait a while, pray for some good things to happen, and then watch it come back. You can't make an economy better without doing that.
Okay. Didn't seem very confident in how it's going to come back because I wanted to ask you, you're
Can you
calling
believe it?
this
They've got me
economic.
eating salads. Excuse me. They've got me,
Yeah,
melatonin's got me eating salads.
that's horrible.
How weak is
Horrible.
that?
I'm
So what
sorry.
we do is it's a cheeseburger, fried chicken, and fried butter kale salad. So
That sounds
I
healthy.
guess I guess it's smothered in barbecue sauce, ketchup, and ice cream. So it's
Very
I
good.
guess the left, they're gonna say, "Oh, look at Trump. He's eating health foods now." Well, you know what? Happy wife. Uh, who the hell cares? That's our phrase in the Trump family.
Um, so you're calling this economic period a period of transition. Why is transition? This is the second time you've used transition when you are opposed transition. I don't know why you keep using the word transition.
When it comes to people's personal lives and feeling better about themselves, we are very anti-transitioning. But when it comes to an economy identifying as a successful Joe Biden economy, sometimes you basically have to go in and you have to rip the Biden cock off the economy so it can come back as a sexy, hot Trump woman economy. We're calling it the Amelia Perez economy. It's just very
Uh,
important that we do this. As you know, it's you gotta sometimes you gotta just their economy's gotta identify as a hot Trump economy. That's its true that's its true identity.
Now, I understand now China's throwing tariffs at us on from U.S. farmers on chicken, pork, beef. How are you going to handle this? We're tariffing people, and now we're getting tariff back. What's going to happen here?
We're gonna keep tariffing. We're gonna tar Here's how tariffs work, tech stuff. Okay, since I know
Tell
business
me.
probably a little bit better than you. We do tariffs, and then China does tariffs, Europe does tariffs, Canada, Mexico does tariffs, and then we do more tariffs, and we have more tariffs than anybody else. So if it becomes a Mexican tariff standoff, we have more tariffs. So when they're done shooting their tariffs, we'll have tariffs still loaded in the chamber, and we'll say, "Oh, what's that? Is your tariff gun empty? Well, look at this. Bang, bang, more tariffs right in your face."
So your strategy is when countries come back with tariffs for us, we go, "Oh, really? We're just going to give you more tariffs."
It's called the more tariff policy, as
Do you think
opposed
it's
to
going to
tariff
work?
more, which sounds like a black.
Do you think this is going to work, this strategy?
Sorry, I'm just eating a little more fried chicken cheeseburger salad. I feel like such a,
Okay.
I feel like such a beta lib eating such a healthy food.
Very healthy salad. How's the
Well, we
butter
know it's going to
with the lettuce?
with the fried kale.
Yes.
Or can you believe your president's eating kale? I mean, melatonin is really driving a hard ship these days. I would
Now,
say our
yeah,
final tariff, you have to understand, is a nuclear weapon.
that's comforting.
Isn't it? Isn't it feel safe? Like, oh, well, the worst thing that can happen is the annihilation of the world. And that's how I know President Trump, sir, will win the tariff war.
So that's your checkmate when they go, "Oh, you we take your 15 tariffs and we give you 16 tariffs," and you go, "We take your 16 tariffs and give you a nuclear war."
Well,
Checkmate.
I take one of our high-tech nuclear missiles and I write tariff on it. And I go, okay, here comes a new tariff for you. And I'm pretty sure you won't have another tariff after this one.
So you know how to end the tariff war with the last and final tariff. Brilliant.
It's the final tariff. I don't know the lyrics to that stupid song, but that's going to be our new theme song, The Final Tariff. And that group was called Europe, I believe, that did the song The Final Tariff. Well, now we're calling it
Hmm.
America, and not the
America.
Neil Young. Neil Young was in a group called America. This is patriotic. We're calling it Patriotic America. So, you know, Neil Young has nothing to do with it.
I also wanted to ask you now, rumors are possible recession here. I mean, Mr. President, I'm going to be honest with you. Gas prices are kind of the same, maybe a little lower,
You're
little
welcome.
lower, but thank you. But as far as my heating prices for my house, and electricity prices, crazy. I'm talking almost $1,000 a month for that. And then
Holy
also my
shit.
groceries. Yeah, yeah.
Here's the thing, tech stuff.
I paid
Okay.
I
We
paid
have great sub.
$700 last month for my heating bill. Yeah.
Have you thought about just moving your family
Fireplace
into a one bedroom apartment?
with a stove in the middle.
Here's the thing, tech stuff, and like a miracle, look at this. Look at what your president's doing. I
Hmm.
have, by executive order, proclaimed that spring is about to happen. And you're not going to have to heat the house like you've been having to heat it. I promised the American people we're going to make it warm again. We're going to make America warm again. Mawa. We call it Mawa. And it's Mawa. And if you look at in terms of temperatures, we've been talking to Mother Nature. We've been talking to a lot of people, by the way, not just because Mother Nature. I was like, is Mr. Nature here? I usually don't talk to the wife, and she is not too pretty. So I try not to. If she was hot, we'd be happy to talk to her. But we are in the process of warming temperatures very strongly. So your bills are going to go down very soon because you're not going to have all that heat, all that nasty heat.
I turned the clocks ahead last night. I heard you were. Did you turn them ahead also? I know you're trying to get rid of that.
We want to get rid of it. It's the stupid. It's so stupid. We lose it. You wake up and all of a sudden, China is taking an hour of our time. And that's when they do all the nastiest stuff during that lost hour. It's like a rip in the time space cunnilingus, I think they call it. It's a scientific sci-fi term, but they rip it right open.
Is that so? This rumor of a recession, it's just a rumor because you're speeding up the weather and you're going to get it warmer, so I don't have to use the heat for my house. Correct.
The great thing about a recession is that it has the word recess in it, which is, of course, our favorite part of school. So people have to look at a recession as more like, oh, let's get on the swings and let's get on the jungle gym because it's recess time. And we need a recession so that people forget that the economy was good. And then when I bring it back from recession, they give me all the credit. It's just basic
Now this,
politics tech stuff.
of course, diplomacy. Now the stock market
Oh,
hasn't recovered since last week when we spoke. and you said it was going to bounce back. Luckily, I don't have much money invested in the stock market except my retirement fund. So, how is that going to improve?
Look at me, I'm 78 and I didn't retire. I keep winning,
No,
so
you're
maybe you'll keep winning.
okay.
I no,
Like DJ
we're not
Khaled?
done. Oh,
DJ Khaled, he has a song about winning. All you
okay.
do
Well,
is win, 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 na, 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 and
that song. Yeah, that's okay. That's not a bad song. He looks a little Gaza to me, though, if I'm being honest, in terms of DJs.
DJ
Uh,
Gaza.
well, that's what he sort of looks like, if we're being honest. But we don't know his stance. I don't want to. He might not be. He might not hate Israel. We'll see. But I think what's important is in terms of the stock market today took another dip. It lost like a 1.5% or something. And that means we're in the right track. Because if you're on a roller
Because we have
coaster, which
recess going
is
on.
there's so much recess. The teacher just said we've canceled math, double recess today, and all the kids go, "Yay, we love Mr. Trump. He's the best teacher." And we're basically, you ever been in a roller coaster type stuff?
Yes.
You know how it has to go way down really fast before it can go do 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 like it do 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 do
Yeah,
it goes
you've rode a
up.
roller coaster before?
I've seen them. I've seen them.
Okay.
And we're talking in terms of we're at that very fast down. So it's going to keep going down, but eventually the force of how fast it goes down, this is economic roller coaster terms. Okay. Anybody who's studied the economics of roller coasters knows if it goes down real fast, it's going to come up even faster. And all of a sudden you're going to be screaming and the teenager in front of you, a shirt's going to pop up. And all of a sudden you get your nice strong view of boobies and you say, this economy is tremendous.
So, it's the economic roller coaster.
That's what we're
Well, I
doing.
can't
It's
wait and
basic
I can't wait till it
economics.
comes back up. I'm excited. Now, also,
Don't you
Mr.
hate it?
President,
Tech stuff.
yeah.
Excuse me. Don't you hate it when you're doing a salad? You're trying to like be healthy to make the wife happy, and the
Hmm.
salad place doesn't doesn't give you enough cheeseburger chunks in your salad, and they go cheap.
Yeah.
It's like, is this a
Not enough
salad place or
grease.
what? I paid for the premium ingredient of cheeseburger in my salad, and you give me like three chunks of cheeseburger.
It's awful. Hopefully they gave you enough grease and butter though.
But I've had plenty. The fried chicken is obviously in there. That's tasty. But
Yes.
and the ice cream scoop is sort of melting in, which gives it a nice sweetness. But I paid the premium amount, and they go so skimpy. They go, here's a little cup of cheeseburger parts, and it's like, no, no, I want
Mm.
like a whole cheeseburger chopped up. It's really sad what they're doing in terms of salad.
Well, I'm sure you can change that. Kind of
Oh,
like salad roller coaster on the way up. I'm sure it's going to taste a lot better next time.
are you talking about roller coasters? Who the hell's talking about roller coasters?
Now, Marco Rubio is he used to be your punching dummy. Now he's your buddy.
That stuff. Do me a favor. Look up a picture of Marco Rubio. The man has the biggest ears in the history of ears. I'm gonna start calling him Dumbo Rubio.
He does have giant ears now that you look at it. I
Giant
mean,
ears. And the thing is, your ears get bigger as you get older. So that guy's gonna be all ears when he's like 80.
and you know what's strange is that usually people have big ears, their big ears going outward. His big ears are elongated, like they almost like a Vulcan kind of type ear.
Oh yeah, no, he's like a pterodactyl, like the pterodactyl where their wings come in, and then if he flapped them out, they'd be like a huge wingspan. He's a,
He's like a
I don't know
frilled
about
lizard.
Marco.
He's got ears like a frilled lizard.
Who's Frill Lizard?
The lizards that have the things that come together and then they pop out they
Oh,
look like
those
kind of
things. I like
dinosaurs, but
those.
yeah, yeah, those
Oh,
are cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Marco. That's Dumbo Marco.
Marco frilled lizard Rubio.
He
Well,
is
you're
a
having to do a lot of dirty work for you. He has canceled most of U.S. aid programs. Yeah, are you happy about that?
who has a song called Dirty Work? Na, your dirty work. Hold on. Look at it. I can't remember if it's like a
You're a,
Jethro Tull or it's one of these old groups. Dirty Work song. Remember Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald? That was good. It was good.
it was
We
good.
love Dirty
I haven't
Work.
seen it in a long time.
Dirty Work song. Oh, Steely Dan. It's Steely Dan. Remember Steely Dan?
Ah,
Name wasn't even
we've
Dan.
cut 83% of U.S. aid programs are gone.
We call that a good
Um,
start.
is that a good start? People lost jobs.
And I complained about,
Um,
excuse me, they complained about Reagan. I've watched a lot of Reagan documentaries, and they complained about Reagan because he didn't do enough about AIDS in the 80s. And I come into office and I tell little Marco Dumbo Rubio, reptilian ear guy, I say, little Marco, get rid of it. We've almost gotten rid of all of you of AIDS in US. AIDS is almost gone. And people say, no, no, sir, we need it. Now we need aid. Before you said get rid of all the AIDS, Reagan didn't do enough, and now we want to keep AIDS. This is a backwards country if we are increasing AIDS. Okay. I talked to Magic Johnson the other day. He said, sir, we need more AIDS. And I said, how the hell? Magic Johnson, of all people, who beat AIDS, by the way. He beat it like he beat the
I,
Celtics. So it was a very sad time in the 80s when the blacks in LA were beating the whites in Boston.
I think there's miscommunication. I think it's aid, meaning like help, not AIDS, the
No, you got
sickness.
to have obviously one aid, but most people get plural aids. They get
Yeah.
multiple aids, but like, you have one aid. Obviously, if there's one aid, you call it an aid. But when you have many aid, you have aids.
All these programs that he's cutting, they were helping people. How are you going to supplement that?
Well, I'm going to say to people, what would you rather have, malaria or AIDS?
So, so instead of curing them, you're going to give them a choice of which disease to have?
In other words, we're trying, it's tech stuff. You don't understand politics. Sometimes you have to make a tough choice. Okay. You ever heard this? Like, it's like, okay, so if there's a bomb that's going to blow up 1 million people and you have to kill one person to stop the bomb, do you do it? And most
Mhm.
people would say yes. And what I'm saying is AIDS is worse than malaria. And so if I have to choose between stopping AIDS, sending AIDS all over under Sleepy Joe, we were sending AIDS to every country. That's why they hate us. They don't hate it for Trump. They hate it because Biden was sending AIDS everywhere. And we're going to stop it, and we have stopped it, and we're going to stop it completely soon.
Now, when you go to the hospital and you give people choices of
Gross.
what they want, you said AIDS is going to be with malaria. What would, let's say, COVID be linked to? What would cancer be linked to? Like, what are you going to get your choices of diseases?
It doesn't work that it's I'm just saying in some of these countries. So some countries it might be more Ebola. And I would actually that's why we're still sending AIDS to places where Ebola is there, because to be honest, you'd rather have AIDS than Ebola. So the Ebola places are still getting AIDS from the US. You see how that
So people
works? So
get the
that's the
option.
worst. Well, no, you don't get in other words, we're making the option for you. We're making the tough choice because we're saying, well, guess what? We're going to send you AIDS because we think Ebola is even worse than AIDS. So congratulations. You've all got AIDS, but none of you have Ebola.
Okay.
But in the
So
place
an
where it's
upgrade
like,
of disease.
no, we're downgrading your disease. We're giving you the
Right.
less awful disease. So if you're in a
But your
place where
your
it's
health
like,
is being upgraded. Your health is being upgraded.
exactly. So if you're in a place where it's like, we have horrible diarrhea. Okay, we have horrible diarrhea. Well, you're not get you. We're not going to send you any AIDS because AIDS is worse than diarrhea.
That's nice of you.
Well, it's good. It's called Trump diplomacy.
Of course it is. Of course. I mean, I don't know what else you would call it.
Trump's in a bump.
Now, now, um, you mentioned Elon Musk. Elon Musk also was banging heads with Rubio about not enough cuts from U.S. aid. Musk is sticking his head in everywhere in U.S. politics. I think now, Mr. President, I don't want you to get mad about this, but I think his name is being uttered by Americans more than your name. Thoughts on this?
Here's the thing. And this is what people don't realize. In the first term, that would have gotten me mad. I remember I fired Steve Bannon, that sloppy son of a bitch, like 2 months in because they kept calling him the brain behind Trump. What I
Yes.
realized this time is I only became president again. Can we go off the podcast record, please?
We are off right now. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Tech Stuff. I only became president to get revenge and to steal lots and lots of money. Okay?
Okay.
So I want revenge. My focus is on revenge, and it's on making a lot of money for me and my family, mostly me. So
Well,
everybody
that
can sit
sounds
around.
presidential.
It is presidential. It's off the
Okay.
podcast presidential record, so I can talk as a civilian. But what
Okay.
Egon is doing is he wants all this attention. He's a hardworking guy. So I said, you know what? I'm like the CEO. You're like the day-to-day operations guy. And I said, go do
Okay.
it. Now, people think they're getting to me saying, oh, President Musk. I know what I'm really here for. You think I wanted to be president? I just wanted revenge. I don't know who the hell. I'm 78 and a billionaire. Who the hell wants a stupid job at this age?
So you're basically giving Elon
Let's
some
go back.
shine that he wanted.
Excuse
Okay,
me.
yes.
We're back on the record now, please.
So
Are we back on
Elon
the record?
Musk, we're back on the record. So
Okay, so
Elon
basically, what I'm
Musk,
saying is
yeah.
he's a talented person, and as president, a lot of people don't get to lead many businesses or organizations, but it's called delegating. It's called delegating. I
Mhm.
run the show, and he's sort of my sort of mega chief of staff. Very good.
Do you see any jealousy out of JD Vance that the attention that Elon Musk gets?
No, JD is great because JD he sits there and he's very happy because Elon Musk can't be president. He's
Mm,
ineligible according to the Constitution.
yes. Now, JD Vance's family is starting to rumble a little bit. I don't know how you're going to quiet them down, but JD Vance's cousin came out in the press and is talking smack and calling you and JD Vance useful idiots to Putin.
Okay, well, JD Vance's cousin probably doesn't have teeth, and not sure he can even read, he or she. He comes from a very low quality people. He comes from, he called them hillbillies in his book. I call them filthy, filthy white scum that makes me offended to be Caucasian.
How do you really feel? Okay.
These are the people,
Hmm.
they betray their race, they betray their politics, they betray their own family. They're horrible people, and we wish nothing but the most opioids on them.
How did JD become so successful in this hillbilly white trash family?
I think he hated them so much that he didn't want to be anything like them. Now, he can't take away the fact that he has a big fat redneck face. That's sort of maybe you're born with it, maybe it's Appalachia, but he has a big fat trashy face. But other than that, he's done very well within his ability. He's done tremendous things to leave that Mountain Dew opioid garbage pile he calls a family in the past, and we respect him greatly for it. He actually told me the other day, he says, I think you're like my real father now, sir. And I said, well, I guess I will continue not talking to you then to replicate the father-son relationship I've had with my other sons.
But that wouldn't go with your parenting. You should actually have a closer relationship with him now since he is of adulthood.
Nobody's got to start out. He's still got to go through the process. You know what I mean? Like you can't just Like if a person never went to school, they don't just get to start in 11th grade. They've got to do the remedial. He could be on an accelerated timeline, but he
So
still has to go
kind
through
of
the
like
sort
Billy
of
Madison.
exactly like Billy Madison, Vance Madison.
So like like Billy Madison had to go to first grade when he was
That's a you
like
nailed it. That
30.
is exactly
Vance
exactly
starts as an infant child to you at 40 something years old.
exactly. We ignore him as mommy has to do his diapers, but by the time, like on an accelerated timeline, by 2027, we'll be at the sort of business relationship talking and mentoring phase.
That's that's nice. So you're treating him like a child right now.
Exactly. And he's sort of, I mean, he had a horrible childhood. He was with all these trashy people, so it's still better. It's still better than what the hell his options were.
I mean, you actually are giving him a second opportunity at childhood. That doesn't happen for everyone.
You remember Michael Jackson? He had a song called "Have You Seen My Childhood?" That's sort of what I'm doing for JD Vance, minus the sexual abuse.
That's very nice of you. Um, I wanted to ask you about Ukraine and Russia. Zelensky is meeting with Saudi Arabia officials ahead of the U.S.-led peace talks, which I'm sure you and JD Vance are leading. How do you feel about that? That he's meeting with Saudi Arabia first before you?
Saudi Arabia is not going to do anything I don't want them to. We have a lot of deals. We have tremendous wealth together. So I've told MBS, I actually told MBS, who we've become very good friends on the world stage, I said, can you give him the Khashoggi package? When Zelensky shows up, can you get the bone saws out and give him we call it the old Khashoggi? And he laughed and said, well, maybe eventually. And I said, well, it can eventually be soon. And he said, well, not soon enough, sir. And I said, okay, well, just think about it. Think about it. Put it on the back burner, the Khashoggi package. But no, they're going to talk. And obviously, we want peace. We want peace. We want very nice, very strong, very peaceful peace.
Do you think Zelensky will finally come to his senses when he meets with you again?
He's already said he's going to bring some hot Ukrainian women with him, which I think shows that his diplomacy skills are improving when it comes to dealing with Trump.
100%.
So I think he's going to do a lot better. I think it'd be nice if he took like a cough drop or a lozenge. I don't like that word, lozenge. The hell word is that? But because hello, Mr. President. Oh, I am Volodymyr Zelensky. Can I help you, sir? You could clear your throat, you son of a bitch. You're talking to a president. What do you mean? What do you mean, JD? What do you mean? What do you see, JD? You do not see anything, JD. Excuse me, clear your throat, you rude son of a bitch, and put on a suit. You want me put on suit? You got to put on suit. I got a wartime country. My people are dying, sir. Well, a lot more are going to die if you don't put on a suit. Now put on a suit. So it's very tough to deal with him, as you can tell from that
Are
wonderful,
you going to make
strong
him put on a suit for the
reenactment.
meeting? Is suit necessary for this one?
We've actually said because of his disrespect, he's got to show up to the meeting in his birthday suit.
Like a Borat
We
onesie?
told him he is. Well, we told no, birthday suit, buck naked with a pine cone in his ass. We're calling it White House Hazing Week. So he's got to do that. He's got to rush. He's rushing the Trump fraternity when he comes back.
He's rushing MAGA.
Exactly.
What Greek letters would you use for your fraternity if you had one, Mr. President?
Kappa, kappa, kappa.
Um, now, Bernie Sanders is not a very big fan of yours, Mr. President. and he's doing this like I don't know, a revenge tour. I don't know what he's doing, but he's speaking up against you and JD Vance and everything you're doing. And he hired this trans singer who mocks God and Jesus to open up all these rallies. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's, we always said he was crazy Bernie, but now he's disrespectful Bernie. He hates our country and he has, we're calling this trans person Crapple. Uh, it's a very sad thing to disrespect our country and our great religion and our great Jesus, who's a great guy, by the way. I've met him a few times. He's a good, really
Mhm.
solid. And I think it's disgraceful.
Yeah. Have you heard the song?
Do you have it? Do you have lyrics?
I could pull up the lyrics right now for you.
I'd love to hear these radical left lyrics.
Trans singer from Bernie Rally lyrics. It's Laura Jane Grace, I think is the.
Oh
Let's
boy.
see some lyrics here. I'm trying. Um, Laura Jane Grace is the front woman and guitarist of American punk band Against Me. Performed the warm up act. She was Thomas James Gable and now has changed. Your God, God's dick. She asked the question, does your God have a big fat dick? Because it feels like he's fucking me. Can he come a shotgun blast and
So
shoot?
far this is very, excuse me, so far this is
Yes.
very pro God.
It says the song, which lasts for a full 2 minutes, pummels listeners with its sick and twisted lyrics. As Grace asks, does he shoot wads of honey and cum twice on Easter Sunday? Can he come a shotgun blast and shoot salvation up your ass? Does he chew cum like bubble gum and give blowjobs like a vacuum?
Well, now that's too
Um,
far. When God has a big penis that shoots a lot of cum, that's a great God. But now they've gone too far making God gay. That's where the disrespect came in, and I don't like it.
so you're not feeling those lyrics?
At the end part, it started out very promising, very pro God, and then all of a sudden it turned God gay, and that's a horrible thing.
That is awful. Now, um, Bernie's rallies really hasn't gotten any attention except for this one. This singer probably might do more songs. Are you I can see this singer doing a whole hate Trump album.
You know what they don't realize? What's so funny about this is we're going to sign this artist to Jim Crow Records, but under a carve out. We have a funny carve out, and it's called, we call it Woke Records. It's like a front where we lure in horrible radical left artists and then produce their album and then bury it. So we're gonna find this Lisa Jane God Dick song, and we're gonna sign her to Woke Records, and then we're gonna bury her career.
So it's like an American Idol deal where you just own them for X amount of years and they can't put anything else out unless you say you can.
Exactly. She won't even be able to get hired at the Pink Pony Club when I'm done with her.
President, last thing I wanted to ask you about is this crackdown at
I
Columbia
have to charge my
University.
computer. You see this? The radical left. The energy. You see what they do with my energy? The radical left.
Well, I'm sorry the radical left is messing with your computer again. I think we should be calling maybe Samsung on a future episode soon. Maybe he can help you out. Um,
We have
this
power.
crackdown.
Crisis averted.
There you go. This crackdown at Columbia, um, for pro-Palestinian activism. Um, You have pulled $400 million in federal funding from Colombia due to these pro-Palestinian activism. Now, what would you consider that if you're pulling all this money from them and you're trying to get them to stop free speech? Would you call it anything?
I'm sorry. Tiffany is barking a tremendous amount, and I don't know if you hear that. Oh, by the way, guess what? I have breaking news for you. You're a Jazz. One of our tech stuff people was a Jets fan, right?
I know, Justin Fields. Just saw it.
What a big deal. What a tremendous deal for a quarterback who's done absolutely nothing.
No, it's great. It's like signing me to be an astronaut. It's basically the same sort of thing.
Well, Elon would send you up in SpaceX, so don't you worry. Elon can make that
Because
happen.
because
We
I've
love
heard of
Elon.
SpaceX and I could point out a star in the sky. You should make me an astronaut for 20 million a year. Man,
Absolutely. I agree.
it's just a desperate shit signing. I don't even want to get into it right now. I'm going to get very angry. Um, so the
You won't like
crackdown of
tech stuff when
Colombia,
he's angry.
no, it's just gonna. I'm gonna say a lot of things I regret on here. Um, I wanted to ask you, do you think this is a form of cancel culture at Columbia?
No, 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 excuse me. We love free speech tech stuff. We love free speech more than we even love like free cookies when they're giving away cookies for free at places, which is one of my favorite things. We love free speech even more than we love free cookies. But this is too far. We are not doing cancel culture. We're doing correct culture. You see the difference?
Mm.
We're correct. So it's very sad what they did to Columbia, a once great university, but they have to pay a price, and that price is no more funding for anything. So hopefully we destroy the university, one of our great research universities, a place where there's educated many great people. Hopefully we destroy it, and I think that would be a good move for the country. More people can go to Liberty University, and Idaho Militia Christian Bible Tech State College would obviously be interested in recruiting some of the non-woke students. Obviously, not the woke students, but the non-woke students would be very welcome at Idaho Bible Tech State College, University Christian Academy, JUCO.
Well, um, last question for you. Are you going to make churches and colleges pay taxes?
Read my lips. There will never be a tax on a Christian house of worship church
Okay.
under a non-woke white Christian church organization while I am president. That is a guarantee.
Understood. Well, Mr. President, thank you so much for your time. Once again, you are a very busy man. And join the Patreon, guys. Patreon.com/MPGA. We have our live Perfect 10 episode happening March 20th. That is March 20th, probably at 8 p.m. We'll get you a time closer, most likely 8 p.m. that day. So that'll be Thursday, March 20th, 8 p.m. for the Perfect Tens. Thanks to all the Perfect Tens who joined us on the last first of the month episode. Leave your ratings and reviews. Spread the word. We like to hit the road. Some people asked us to come to DC. I've heard Boston. So keep messaging on social media. Share this with a friend, guys. Right now, I don't know, politics are being talked about a lot in the news. So it might be helpful to pass this to a friend, even if you are not a Republican, not a Democrat, independent, whatever you are. It's good entertainment. Everyone will enjoy this. So spread the word and patreon.com/MPGA. Give it a chance for a month. You won't be upset because there are hundreds of hours of bonus content you can binge. Mr. President, floor is yours. Anything?
Give us a review on Spotify and Apple. Don't forget to do that. And hey, everybody, it's JL. It was me the whole time. Nothing really to report. Just check out my YouTube. Rain on Your Parade should be coming back in late April around my birthday. And the other thing is, yeah, catch me in Vegas, either virtually or in person, as part of the stand up with Pete Dominic Pod Jam. Some stand up, some doing an episode of Pete's podcast, and it'll just be a very fun, festive hangout. So if you're going to be in Vegas, if you live near Vegas, come make it a trip. I promise you, it's very fun and affordable. And if you can't make it for whatever reason, virtual options are available, so you'll be able to watch like the tapings and the show and stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly how much they have virtual, but I guess all the performance and stuff will be available that way. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for listening. We're going in the right direction. Obviously, Trump 2.0 is just really making America great again, finally. I love it. It's an amazing thing to watch. God help us all.